All right, it is time once again to spiel.
To spiel.
It's it sounds like a Jewish phrase.
We're gonna Spielberg this episode.
What's the spiel? Spiel's Yiddish, right? That's a Yiddish thing.
We're gonna talk about the origins of spiel. Already, our listeners are riveted.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's end our spiel about spiel and spin the wheel of problematic to find out what topic is problematic this week. And I think it's my turn, so I'm going to
It is
a nice tug. Just realized that phrasing was unfortunate for an audio podcast. But okay, let's see what we got.
What did it land on?
Okay, it landed on Halloween. So we'll find out what's problematic about Halloween on this episode.
Prophecy foretells of a podcast so stunning, so brave, that it could only ever go by one name. A show so woke that it became its own gender. A show so hot that we'll understand if it turns you gay. You're listening to Stunning and Brave with Chris Cowan and Nate Henderson.
Boom. Welcome once again to another edition of Stunning and Brave. My name is Chris, and with me is...
I'm Nate. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Nate. What are you clicking on?
What am I clicking? It's coming through loud, isn't it?
It's
coming through. I've got all these windows to filter through. You know, I gotta look at our itinerary for the show. I gotta look at your ugly mug, and click over on the other thing. What do you want from me? What do you want from me?
Well, if you would close all those OnlyFans tabs, it would, probably
we've talked about that. That is
screen space.
That is my business. That is no one else's business.
At least minimize them, while we're recording the show, so you can focus. I know.
No, man. I prefer them all open, all communicating.
I know that girl who impersonates a cat or whatever,
Oh yeah, I mean she's at the top of my list.
I'm not here to kink shame, but
gosh, my computer's eating up a lot of RAM right now.
All right. Anyway,
anywho, welcome everyone.
Hey, it's good to be here in the studio recording a podcast for you to listen to. That's in case you weren't sure, what the workflow was. That's pretty much it right there.
In case you're wondering, Cowan is dressed very fall appropriate. He's got the fall themed plaid going on, the plaid shirt.
Well, and you know why? You know why?
Why?
Because today we went to a pumpkin patch.
so naturally you have to dress the part.
I'm not going to show up in anything less than burnt orange plaid.
Right.
I'm American,
You're just one step short of a scarecrow. That's
it's my civic duty,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I pulled out the winter boots, as you know.
oh my gosh.
I'm not walking around some kind of pumpkin patch in tennies.
In tennis shoes.
In my comfy New Balance. No, sir. I'm a laced up tight, rugged, manly boots romping around.
I'll say that I know my wife would agree with you, but then at the same time, you also need to think about that she would, that you would get her full approval
just
look that.
It's healthy always to take a moment and just kind of look around at the people whose side you're on and reevaluate
things.
Yeah.
Be real. You lost your choices a long time ago.
Yeah, that's true. About 16 years ago. Not to put a number on it.
No. I mean, just, if we had to ballpark it.
Yeah. But so I did. I wore this very fall. I don't know about you, but I freaking love fall.
Fall is wonderful. And we get like 2 weeks of it here in Sacramento. So.
Right. Right. Yeah. It's hot, 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 and then 2 weeks of cold weather, and then winter is just, rain and
then the winter chill.
Yeah. We I lit my first fireplace fire of the winter.
There you go. See, that's the official kickoff right there.
Yeah, it does not heat my whole house. It like pretty much just heats the 5-foot radius around.
Right, the little stove that you have there.
But I refuse to use the thermostat when I have a fire. Kids are all like,
"Okay,
Dad, I've got frostbite," and which I found out this week that frost nip is the term for the phase right before frostbite.
Oh,
in case
I thought that's just when you wear a thin T-shirt.
Yeah, in case your nips ever get frost nip,
right,
it could lead to
then it gets
frost nip bite.
So your solution when the kids complain is just scoot closer to the fire, everyone.
Yes, yes.
We are not turning on that heater. I don't care.
It's funny because with one of them, it's like, dude, you're freaking wearing shorts and a T-shirt,
right?
In October, and it's like, maybe, just maybe, put on a hoodie, put on some socks,
put on some more layers, man.
Put something. We've got 20 different blankets in our living room.
Well, and that's the difference for me between summer and winter, because summer you can take clothes off. I mean, within reason to cool down.
I do.
Boy, do we ever
every chance I get.
Do we know? But ultimately, you're gonna want some comfort of an AC, of the air conditioning unit or whatever.
Yeah.
Winter, you can let that thermostat just take a back seat, and you can pile on a sweatshirt and it's a lot easier, I think, to keep yourself warm than it is to keep yourself cool.
That's some great insight, Nate. I've never heard that before.
No, thanks, man. No, I appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah. You who refuse to put on the heater for your own family. Yeah. Have fun Donner partying it over the next couple months.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to.
I bet Connor's delicious.
Draw straws to see which kid we eat. Have you guys been to any pumpkin patches this year?
No, we've been so busy. Last, I think it's almost kind of like we alternate every other fall sometime. Last fall we did the whole Apple Hill thing. I think we even talked about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a nightmare because we went to the busiest location in all of Apple Hill. But this year we're my wife and I are going out of town for our anniversary just for a couple days, and we're just kind of we're kind of foregoing some of the stuff we would normally do in the fall time. Well, we'll still do some stuff here and there, but nice. Going to go to a couple trunk or treats. That's about as fallish as we're going to get. We're so lazy. We don't want to take them out door to door. We're just going to take them to one location where there's just a truckload of candy. Be here's your Halloween, kids. Enjoy.
That's I don't even do that. I just keep my kids in. I just say, go to your room, dress in your costumes if you want to. Here's a bag of candy. Good night.
Go to your room in your costume.
You got your candy. What's your problem? What's the big deal? You got your costume, you got your candy. What else do you need?
I've got your end game right here. Why are you complaining? Stop crying. I would argue that's almost more traumatic than the poor families that turn off all the lights in their house and then they all huddle around a candle in the back room because they don't celebrate anything about Halloween.
Yeah. Nobody we know, but yeah.
Nope, nobody we know at all.
Nope.
I think your tactic would even go beyond that and be slightly more
that would be pretty
dramatic.
That's kind of I'm just saying I'm counting on those therapy bills anyway. I just kind of feel like might as well get my money's worth.
I was going to say you better get your use from those therapist sessions. That's smart.
make sure there's a good reason for it.
Truth be told, I honestly think my kids, they would love me telling them just to put on a costume. Here's a bag of candy. Go to bed. Like I don't think they would know any better as far as what they're missing out on. So I
honestly wouldn't hate that. And I wouldn't be surprised to find out that happened multiple times.
Oh yeah.
If not this year, then definitely last year during COVID. Quarantine, all that stuff.
Oh, sure.
That kind of thing.
I think the days of door-to-door visits though are fast disappearing. So,
let's see. So pumpkin patch. I don't. We normally go. Like my wife normally takes us to like a pumpkin patch a day. Like.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, it must be flipping exhausting.
It can be sometimes. I've had to kind of be like, hey, we don't need, because she has
up on the fall
called FOMO, fear of missing out, and sometimes and I don't have that. I'm cool to miss out on tons of stuff,
same.
But she's always like, and it makes for great memories for the kids. For the most part, but also sometimes it's just like, okay, we don't need to spend just because there are 2,000 pumpkin patches in our area,
right?
Doesn't mean we need to hit all of them this month.
She's got her checklist out. She's like, we've only done 25% of them, honey.
Yeah, but actually this year we hadn't done any yet, and we're going to be gone like the week before Halloween.
Okay.
So this week I was actually the one who, like, you know what? Maybe we should go to a pumpkin patch.
You initiated it.
I initiated, and and so that's what we did. Is this today we went to this pumpkin patch that's like the freaking Disneyland of pumpkin farms. Has freaking
wow
carousel rides, and
they sell $12 churros.
Zip lining, like freaking all the things, and so that was fun. So yes, I am wearing my fall colors, Nate, and I'm wearing them with pride.
You look great. Great.
Thanks.
So dapper.
I look fetching in burnt orange.
Who doesn't, really?
Who doesn't? Come on. All right. Well, let's kick off our first segment.
Check your privilege.
All right, this is the part of the show
I intend to
where we basically, as two heterosexual cisgender white males, we're just, full of privilege, just leaking out of our bodies at any moment. And again, unfortunate turn of phrase.
We're using lots of them.
But so this is kind of our moment to confess our privilege, acknowledge it, feel bad about it, knowing that there is no penance, no amount of guilt, no forgiveness waiting for us. There's only the guilt and the shame of our privilege.
Bring it.
And so for me, so actually this is a good tie-in. I'll kick this segment off because talking about what I'm wearing today, I'm like, I am wearing my fall, button down plaid shirt and my boots, and I am being intentional about this style. Okay,
got your patch boots on
because earlier this week, I had a sudden realization, and that was that without noticing, I had begun dressing like a dad, and
welcome, friend.
Yeah. Now, Nate, you literally walked out of the womb dressing like a dad, so this isn't this isn't new territory for you.
I can't help it. People have been dressing me since I was a wee babe.
Yeah.
So I've always had somebody making fashion choices for me. Some horrible, others very good. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for my wife. So
And yeah, I mean, your first words were "Hi, hungry, I'm dad." You know,
right? Exactly. I cracked a horrible joke right out.
You were born that way.
Oh, just terrible imagery. Can we continue?
Yeah, but for me, for me, I liked to think that I wasn't full dad clothes. Like I hadn't completely given up. And I know what you're saying, because you've known me long enough to know, yeah, you gave up a long time ago. What are you
I mean, I think we all have those items that, that we wear that every now and then we're like, oh man, this is skirting the line. This is really this is heading into dad territory fast. It might be a pair of shoes. It might be a t-shirt that doesn't fit quite right, or for me, it's like, whatever. I'll just wear what's comfortable. And if I look like a dad, then I freaking look like a dad. I don't care if my shoes have the letter N on them. I don't care. I like comfort.
Well, and I've been a lot, like, I've been the kind of person where, like, the way I feel like I look sometimes affects how I feel, like, in terms of, like, so if I'm like, sometimes I like to wear a button up, all right? Because I like the way it looks, all right? Okay. And I like to wear those boots when I go pumpkin patching.
Jeez.
But
metro.
I know. But that's when I know I've given up, is when I'm like, purely like comfort just takes over. And
sure.
And so, like, the other day I was just like, I just paused for a moment, and I just like looked at what I had become, and I was wearing my freaking, my New Balance shoes, with my loose fitting jeans, and then this like fleece, like
sweatshirt,
fleece sweatshirt that just looked like a dad.
Just screamed dad.
Yeah, it just screamed dad to me. And I just I looked down and I didn't know how to feel.
Then you lowered your head into your hands and just wept.
I just wept.
They found you curled in the fetal position on the floor, clutching your bag of Doritos because you just didn't care.
Yeah. So I think my jeans were still not acid washed, but like they were still washed, like, where it wasn't just like a flat color. So I think that's going to be the final, like, nail. You think
that's going to be the final step towards full dad attire,
or just like this straight denim? So I don't know.
Well, and I will say some comforting words to you, in a sense that as long as you remain a part-time sock model, I don't think you. I don't think you're 100% dad designer yet. So
okay, all right, yeah, I appreciate that.
Keep some of those pretentious gigs going, and you'll still hold on to that part of your youth
until you see me in like Wranglers ad.
There you go.
If in a Wranglers ad.
It's all downhill.
I'm done for.
Well, then you'll know that the agencies have identified you now as obviously somebody who's going to be modeling dad wear. I mean, what else is he going to wear?
Right.
What else
you can't undad once you cross that threshold. You can't come back from Wranglers.
He's not going to model that spring line for the college kids. Right. He's gonna go all out. This is somebody with a 401k.
But then sometimes I'm like, I don't want to, like, on one hand, it's like kind of sad to like see myself like settle in quite so comfortably into the dad image.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, you see the dads who don't, and like who like are trying too hard.
Yeah, that's when it gets almost kind of awkward to just be around them.
The dads in Roseville, not to mention.
Just to name a random.
Yeah, Roseville is a suburb that is just like, for those who don't know, Roseville, California is one of those suburbs where it's just like you see, like I saw one time this lady with ripped jeans. She was in her 60s, all right, at least, and she had these freaking ripped jeans with like a freaking hole that like came up to her butt, and like I could see her granny panties.
Was she overly tan?
Oh, you know it, like
with the platinum blonde hair.
Yeah. Yes.
In a voice lower than Barry White.
Right.
From all those packs of Marlboros.
Yeah. It was not a good sight. It was not a good
I'm just living the dream, sweetheart.
Yeah. So I don't want to. So I'd rather be a dad than a try too hard dad, is what I'm saying. So.
Yeah, I think that's No, that's okay. Everybody, it's just like growing old. Everybody goes through it, and congrats for realizing that it's okay. It may not feel okay, but you'll embrace it more and more as the years go on. Don't worry.
I'll be okay. I'll be okay.
And then you're just, dude, trust me, it's great. You just get to this point where you're just like, I just don't care. I'm comfortable, and this is making my day a whole lot better to feel this comfortable. Yeah. And you just don't care about, your fancy polos and your pumpkin patch boots and all that other stuff. So it's worth it.
Nate, do you even own a pair of pumpkin patch boots? Come on.
I own a pair of boots, but I can't claim them to be pumpkin patch boots. No, mine are steel toed. Like, a lot of men actually possess. But no, I don't have sadly, I don't have a pair of, what are they, like bear claw boots? Or maybe are those just for women? I can't remember. Anyway.
I don't know. I don't bear claw boots.
Ugg. I'm wearing my Uggs with my pumpkin spice latte, and I'm walking through the pumpkin patch, and I look fabulous.
Your white winter vest. Yeah.
My white winter. That's right.
And your tights.
Oh,
tights.
I am the snow queen.
All right. Well, what do you got going on? What's your privilege?
Oh man. Okay, so I forget. Do any of your kids play sports, like recreational sports at all, or
recreationally, not in a team or anything?
Okay. No, so they don't play in like any league or anything right now.
No, they're losers. They're not going to.
So I have
that. They're not getting that college scholarship.
They're not getting that scholarship. They're not getting that full ride for basketball anytime soon. Huh?
Totally could. Mason's going to pass me in height any day now, and
right.
Totally
man, that kid.
They just look at him and they'd be like, "Oh, he can play basketball. He can't."
That kid is huge.
Yeah, they'd assume.
Yeah, Noah's growing like a weed as well. So Noah's in soccer. So for 10 glorious weeks of the year, we get the joy of taking him to all the practices, all the games. And he's getting older, where a lot of his friends that were on his soccer team in previous years, they're going to like competitive, like they're going to going to like the next step past just recreation league type stuff. So they're getting more serious about their soccer.
Oh yeah.
Noah didn't do that, and that's totally fine. Like, because with competitive games and the higher league type stuff, you're taking like trips for miles and miles. Like you are going out of town for tournaments, to that thing. So I am 100% okay with him not wanting to do competitive sports at this point, because I'm selfish, and I still like my weekends to be mine. But one thing that's always interesting is when you play these games against other teams in the league, there's coaches that don't quite realize that it's just a recreational game with 11-year-olds. And like, I know they like have stereotypes like in movies and comedies and stuff like that, but oh my gosh, like we played this team a couple weeks ago, and this guy was like one of the most intense kids coaches I've ever seen.
Oh my god!
And I've been to a lot of games. Like this guy was just this guy was yelling at all of his kids. Like his kids just looked like they wanted to just duck into a hole and die. and so he's like,
he wasn't the, hey, at least you had fun kind of guy. He was.
Oh, not at all. No, he was like reprimanding them if they did something wrong. And so rightly so, they were a very good, they were a very good team. It was very difficult for our team to, match them, even though they played their hardest.
Right.
And so, so that's a good life lesson. You can, abuse your kids into greatness if you really want it, that bad.
Well, if you think about it, most of the great people did come from, terrible situations.
So we find out after that day, just because some of the kids on Noah's team told our coach that apparently he was like talking crap to our kids that got injured.
What?
Like they would get injured over, because you're on your one side of the field.
Yeah.
The opposing team is on the other side of the field. So something happens way over on the other end, like close to the line. You can't really see what's going on until you have to walk out and help the kid walk off the field if they got injured. Right. So yeah, like 2 kids got injured in the game.
Dang.
And apparently he was talking crap like, well, if you can't hack the game, you probably shouldn't play it. Like,
wow.
like stuff like this. This is to 11-year-olds. Like, this is not. So, rightfully so, our coach.
I'd be taking like a lead pipe up to him and just being wham. Oh, I'm sorry. If you can't hack the game, I guess you shouldn't play it.
If you can't take these aggressive parents, that's kind of on you.
Yeah.
But so rightfully our coach called up the league and pretty much ratted this guy out because we wanted to make sure he wasn't doing that to any other kids on the team. So it amazes me. I think to myself, what has to happen in your life? Like what occurrences have to happen for you to be that gung-ho and diehard about an 11-year-old recreational team? Not even a competitive, like, hey, we're headed to the Olympics sort of thing, which, fine. You might expect this behavior from a coach at the World Cup or something like that.
Yeah.
But what has happened to this poor guy? Like, that where he just, he's like Gordon Bombay. He just initially tries to beat his kids into submission with verbal abuse. I mean, this guy was acting like he had money on the game.
Right.
Like
maybe he did. Maybe he's got like an underground, like gambling thing going. Gambling on the little leaguers. Yeah, that's probably what it is.
He's got an underground betting ring for the recreational league. That's how sad this has become. This guy acted. He was so intense. He acted like his wife had left him that morning. And just said,
watch, it'll come back around. You'll find out. That's exactly what happened.
I'll find out that's exactly what happened. No, I get, he was acting like his wife left him that morning. She took his kids with her. And as she left the building, she looked over her shoulder and said, "I only love winners." I mean, that's like how committed this guy was to yelling at his team to victory. So I don't know.
He's like the kind of guy who probably like got left in his room with a bag of candy on Halloween.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happens. He's like, I'm going to channel all that rage against a amateur sports team full of 11-year-olds.
Halloween is for winners.
You only scored 2 goals, huh? Well, we said the quota was at least 4, so.
Yeah. Maybe you can beat that foosball next time. Try harder next year.
Jeez. Oh my gosh. Now you only get a bag of Smarties. All the other premium candy is out the door. No, I don't know. I'd like to maybe coach something one day, like if my son's on the team but man, if I ever get that intense, you have a right to come up to me with a lead pipe and just work me over in front of the kids. They can see it. That's
I'm
going
to come to your game anyway with a lead pipe just in case. I'm going to be at all your games.
Oh crap.
Like I'll be Nate, I don't know. You're getting a little excited. Better watch it.
I'm like, I'm not even coaching. I don't. I wasn't even coaching, and he just started wailing on me.
Is that a frown? Is that a frown? You sound a little grumbly.
He really wants to keep me accountable, and I appreciate that. So, oh man. Anyway,
wow. Yeah, I don't understand people like that. I don't. Yeah.
All their hopes and dreams.
But hey, you know what? Those kids are getting the college scholarship later on in life.
That's true. You know what? Those kids are going to be playing in the Olympics, and they're going to be looking back fondly at this coach that used to berate them. So
there you go. You go. All right. Well, guess what? It's time for...
This podcast is a proud member of Culture Box. Whether you enjoy geeky reviews, comedy, or original fiction, you can open up the Culture Box and find something excellent for your soul. Point your web browser to culturebox.media.
In case you weren't clear, it's time for some mid-episode advertisement for our podcast / media conglomerate called Culture Box that we're part of. And so we've got multiple shows. There's YouTube shows, multiple podcasts, our good friends from Retro Rewind Podcast and several others. And one of them is the Untold Podcast. It's a speculative fiction podcast utilizing the genres of sci-fi, fantasy, and horror, among others, in order to engage the culture's imagination from a Christian worldview. Every month, Nathan James Norman produces and narrates a new story presented in a unique and dynamic way. Check out the Untold Podcast at www.untoldpodcast.com to listen and leave them a review on Apple Podcasts.
Awesome.
The Social Net Jerk.
Oh! All right, this is the part of the show where we find people on the internet kind of making fools of themselves. And
kind of.
Well, I'm being generous. All right,
you're being very gracious. That's not.
Yeah,
that's not our style.
All right, and this is all user submitted content this week. So I just want to thank everyone from our Stunning and Brave Autonomous Zone. That's our Facebook group. And if you haven't joined, I highly recommend that you join the Stunning and Brave Autonomous Zone, or SBAZ, on Facebook. We have a lot of fun there, just kind of making fun of pop culture, woke culture, political correctness, and conservatives too. We span the gamut. If it's mockable, it will be mocked.
Oh yes.
And so it's always great to have content coming in from our listeners, and this week is no exception. So this first one,
yeah, you're taking this one, man. There's no.
I'll do it. So somebody posted a side-by-side photo, and the first photo is a dude. Just looks like a normal dude. He's double fisting a couple drinks. He's chilling.
Just your regular day after work at the office. Yeah. He looks like he's at the office.
He looks like a dude, and he is regular guy.
Yeah.
Next photo, right next to that, is that same dude, but dressed effeminately with like black lipstick and earrings. And
kind of going for the Marilyn Manson look a little bit there.
Yeah, crop top, looking much more effeminate. And they posted the side-by-side comparison of 2015 me would desperately try to sleep with 2021 me, and 2021 me would let him know what I charge.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, okay. So you're I guess you're a trans hooker now? Is that you went from a regular dude to a trans hooker? So
don't you know he's the lady of the early afternoon late afternoon to early evening?
Yeah. Actually, this person's starting to look a little familiar. Holy crap!
Oh God.
Dodge that bullet.
Whew.
All right.
Dodged lots of stuff.
Go back to our previous episode if for context. Yeah,
good old Cowan was hit on by a hooker.
Yes. Well, hit on sounds more like she wanted something other than money from me. So I don't know that hit on is
no,
the
man.
Right phrase.
Hit on comes with a solicitation. Yeah. That's all part of the game.
Yeah. I just love the concept here is like, okay, so you were a regular dude. Now you identify as a chick, whatever you want to do, more power to you. But just the narcissism of like, there's a rather indelicate phrase that is often used.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, go screw yourself.
Oh, God.
But this person's kind of taking that as a suggestion. So, yeah, I don't know. 2015 me would desperately try to sleep with 2021 me. Maybe, yeah, probably because you're like, you got 2 drinks you're about to down right there. So, yeah, you'd probably fall for some kind of, trap.
Oh,
like
man.
That. But
what happened to this guy within the span of 6 years? It's like a lot can happen in 6 years, and I'm pretty sure all of it happened to this guy.
Probably COVID. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, hey,
yeah,
whatever you want to do with your life. That's...
I guess you can truly say you do you. It's yeah.
Alrighty. You want to take this next one?
Sure. These are always great. It was a picture taken of storm clouds on the horizon. And they're the big puffy cumulus clouds in the background. And then in front of those clouds is another cloud formation that I'm guessing wasn't photoshopped whatsoever in any way.
Mm-hmm.
The cloud looks at first glance like a soldier is kneeling down, is taking a knee. And it looks like he's wearing a helmet. I've never seen a cloud be that pointy at both ends perfectly, but apparently that's the helmet. And the caption says, "I think our 13 soldiers made it home." Which, as people following the news would know, is a reference to the 13 soldiers that tragically lost their lives during the evacuation of Afghanistan. What was it? It was almost a couple months ago, I think. So,
let's go, Brandon. Yeah,
let's go, Brandon. Wow.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts?
I don't know. I don't want to like dog on it too much because like. I think our 13th state, like, okay, they're saying, oh, they're in heaven, and I see them in this cloud and stuff, and it's like, okay, it's kind of, all right. It's just a little precious momency to me.
People look for meaning in wherever they can find it to comfort themselves, after something tragic.
Yeah.
Just like if you have a loved one pass away and they were, fond of crickets, and then you hear crickets in the evening, and you're just like, they sent crickets to cheer me up.
They sent crickets to cheer me up.
This is the equivalent. So yeah, I said, people find me. I just that would be something if a cloud could actually do that formation of a helmet, because it just looks,
it's possible.
It looks a little too
could be an actual photo, but
yeah,
it's. I mean, even if it was photoshopped, it's pretty it's very impressionistic. But
like if somebody just put in like a thin rifle cloud or something right next to just totally blew the cover as far as it being photoshopped. But
I like what Joe said in the Facebook group. He said, and then a couple minutes later, I also think that lopsided giraffe standing on a balloon just made it home too.
You can see all sorts of things in clouds. So.
That one looks like an elephant made it home. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't know. I don't want to dog on it too much. I want to be
geez, no. I'm not dogging on what actually happened.
Yeah, Nate, why would you do this? You're being really disrespectful.
Dude, I'll take this any day of the week than some transvestite that wants to do himself. Okay, I'm just going to put that right out there.
Hey, that sounds rather judgmental, honestly. I think you should be a little more open-minded.
Will you please take the third one?
Okay. All right, here's somebody's hot take. If you're selfish enough to not get a vaccine and put everyone else in danger, you don't deserve a hospital bed for when you get sick with COVID. You should be left to die out in the streets so you can fully exercise your right to freedom alone. If you want the freedom to make your own choice to not get the vaccine, then the hospitals and staff should have the freedom to decide to not admit you from your selfish decision. Yeah.
Stick it to them. Stick them to those non-vaxxers.
Yeah.
That unvaccinated cesspool.
Yeah. But I don't think they're going far enough. No, I don't think so. Because
what do you think?
Well, I don't know. I think if we're gonna follow that logic, then literally, anyone who, I don't know, is at fault for a traffic accident, they shouldn't go to the hospital. For endangering others. Anyone with, preventable diabetes.
Yeah.
Obesity. Yeah. If
heart disease,
anything self-inflicted, we shouldn't do anything to.
I think that's just
because it was their freedom to make their own choice to.
That's right.
Put themselves in this risky situation.
That's right. Smokers,
definitely.
Vapors, who I'm guessing this guy probably is.
Yeah, probably. Seems like
I don't know.
Type.
I don't know. That's my own. That's my
seems
own
like a vapor
coming out there. He just seems like one of those guys that you just see in the car when you pull up next to him, and he's already got that device that he's just puffing on.
Yeah.
Tastes
sipping
like
on your little adult juice box there.
Your adult juice box. No, that's just booze.
When you land in the hospital, you should,
Well, yeah, alcoholics. I mean, the list goes on and on and on.
Hippocratic oath thing is totally,
dude. Are you kidding me? Throw that out the window.
Yeah, that doesn't.
That's
apply.
Totally worth.
If somebody does something I disagree with, obviously, that's not. If somebody makes their own choice about what to do with their own body, what chemicals they do or do not want to inject in their body. Then that means I can just, as a doctor, no longer honor the Hippocratic oath.
That's right. No, I think if I was a doctor, it would be worth losing my medical license to follow the advice of this passionate poster.
I'm just saying, maybe if we're going to have this conversation, let's start with, I don't know, drunk drivers or
there we go.
The serial killer who tries to commit suicide during the police standoff. Maybe. Maybe start with those guys before you get to,
right.
Oh, I have legitimate health concerns about this, newly released, rushed through vaccine that has known and unknown side effects. And maybe I didn't want to take that in order to, keep my job or go to the concert. So
no, you're worse than those drunk hit and runs, man.
Worse than the, serial killer in a police standoff with a self-inflicted gun wound.
That's very specific.
Those people will stay. But yeah.
Oh, totally.
But yeah, I don't know. All right, moving on.
Ugh, that's problematic.
All right, this is the part of the show where we take the aforementioned topic of the week and we decide why it must be problematic.
I love how the problematic sound jingle basically is something that you would hear out of a 1940s cartoon. Just some cartoon cat would be wearing a rice hat and they would play that jingle in the background. It's that's probably problematic now. So I get the reference.
What was a heuristic?
Yes, Lady and the Tramp. We are Siamese, if you please. Anyway, I'm sorry.
I didn't notice
continue.
that scene in the remake. It didn't seem to.
Oh, didn't make it?
Yeah, I don't know. The whole
opportunity missed.
Yeah. Harmful stereotypes. All right, let's see. You want to take the first one? We like to pose this question to our stunning and brave autonomous zone and see what other people think is problematic. It's a bit of a think tank, really.
There is.
And some people might call it slacking and leaving someone else to do our work. I like to think of it as delegation.
Oh, yeah. Forget those people. I mean, yeah.
So let's see what the stunning and brave autonomous zone has to say on this. You want to take the first one?
Yeah. So Tim says, what's problematic about Halloween? The appropriation of exclusive identities that aren't your own.
Yeah, and that's a topic that's gonna come up here and there. And you know what? Actually, hold on. We have actually a couple surprise guests. As I mentioned, we're part of the Culture Box Media Network, and we actually have a couple hosts from other shows who want to chime in on this. So let's see what they have to say.
It's awesome.
Hey, Chris and Nate. This is Francisco from the Retro Rewind Podcast.com. And here's what's problematic about Halloween. It is invented by straight, white, cis, Christian, wealthy, 6-foot-tall men of the Illuminati who have used Halloween as a cover to get people interested in October 31st, which is actually Reformation Day. That's right. Timmy and Sally prepared to get 99 theses in that candy bucket. Boom. So watch yourself, because that's what's problematic about Halloween.
Wow.
That's some great insight. Thanks, Francisco.
Nicely
Paul,
done,
the Master
Francis.
Interrupter Powers here. I'm interrupting because that's what I do. And I'm here to tell you what's really problematic about Halloween is that the Halloween is really a compound word. There's hollow and ween. And everybody knows ween means to have an opinion or to believe or think. What? And hollow means like it's empty. So it's like empty thoughts or beliefs or not knowing. And what's problematic about not knowing is that you're just like all the rest of the sheep and lemmings, and you're just going to follow everybody else because you don't have an opinion. You're going to follow them right off the cliff. We need free thinkers that are on the right track. Booyah! Actually, it's hallow, not hollow. So you could go on believing all that and you'd be wrong. And that's what's problematic.
Wow. All right.
Nice, Paul.
Thank you, Francisco and Paul from the Retro Rewind Podcast.
Did Francisco say 99 feces in that candy bucket, or was it? Oh, thesis. Yeah, no, I'm reading his text.
Yeah, thesis.
I was like, geez, man, what sort of Halloween traditions did you have as a kid?
Know your Reformation history. Come on.
Oh, yes. I suppose that's it.
Robert keeps it simple. Nothing's wrong with Halloween. If you're a demon...
Oh, wow. Touche. John says it's the only time of year that it's acceptable to lure children to your porch with the promise of candy. Yet when I do that on a random Thursday, the neighbors call the cops. What's the deal? Nice, John.
It's because you're white.
Well, obviously.
Joe says enabling harmful stereotypes amongst the vampire and ghost communities. Very true. Like not all vampires, wear the big black collar and some use some have spray tan. They're not all pale. I don't know. Maybe.
Jacob says child obesity. That's a really good point, Jacob. I think we should reject those kids from the hospitals. So
yes, definitely. And reject anyone who passed out candy. Really?
Oh yes, thank you. With the enablers.
Yeah. And along the same line says diabetes. So great.
One leads to the other usually. Let's see. What's problematic about Halloween? Jeremy says nothing. We are teaching our kids they are entitled to handouts and free stuff. And if they don't get what they want, we tell them to toilet paper that house and shun the residents who will hopefully learn their lesson before next year. We're tearing down the wealthy and setting up a socialist regime.
Ooh.
Wow. That is very deep. I can't say that I have not toilet papered a few houses on Halloween in my day.
Yeah. I toilet paper my own house.
You do? You just want to feel like you were involved in Halloween hijinks?
Part of the hijinks. I'm like, oh, who did this? Oh, you guys. I come out the next day. I'm just like, oh, you guys, who did this crazy hijinks? I don't know. Must have been my many friends who they do this all the time. What do you think, neighbors who are watching me?
And then you hand a rake and a garbage bag to your boys and say, clean it up.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Chris, of course, makes it all about himself. Nothing. It is my birthday, and everyone dresses up and gives out candy to celebrate.
Oh, well.
Happy birthday,
Happy early birthday.
Yeah. That is
that would kind of suck having your birthday on Halloween, I think.
Not as bad as Christmas. Like it would suck because if you throw a birthday party, everyone expects it to be a Halloween themed birthday party. And if you don't love Halloween, kind of gonna suck.
Oh man, that's so true. Like you can never have any theme other than just Halloween, otherwise people will be very sad.
Right. Yeah. So I don't know. But it's definitely not the worst. Not the worst time. Christmas, basically any time in December, but especially like anywhere between like Christmas and New Year's, like you're kind of screwed there. Yeah,
that's true.
Halloween is definitely appropriation. We've talked about it in the past, the whole appropriation of cultures, and it's so controversial if you're white Westerner. Mm-hmm. But if you're literally any actual culture, nobody cares if you dress up as them. If you actually go to China, they don't freaking care if you dress up Chinese for Halloween. If you go to Mexico, nobody freaking cares if you wear a sombrero. It's literally the only people who care about it are white people, or occasionally, and this is in my experience from the people I do know who are not white who've been offended. Mm-hmm. They're the people who view it as a stereotype because they dress white.
Oh.
They dress, in conventional Western garb. They've abandoned their heritage and no longer wear the kimono or the sombrero that their ancestors did. And it is upon me to now honor that.
It's up to you.
And sometimes I wear a sombrero and a kimono just to honor all the cultures.
Wow, that is a lot of honoring that you didn't have to. You really didn't have to.
Yeah, but I look fetching in a kimono, so it's kind of my thing.
As long as you're wearing that kimono, it's not full dad. It's not.
And I always like to point out, because it's so funny how like churches will like not acknowledge that Halloween exists when they throw their harvest party.
It's always a harvest or fall festival.
Yeah. Fall festival on Halloween.
We just happen to have it.
Which, okay, let's ignore for the moment that Halloween literally means Hallows Eve, meaning the eve before All Saints Day, which is a old Christian holiday. Let's ignore that for now. But I have to say it. If you call your Halloween party a harvest festival, then don't complain when people say Happy Holidays instead of Merry Christmas.
Wow. That's a
calling your Halloween party a harvest party is like saying Happy Holidays when we all know you mean Christmas.
Yeah, it really is.
Just saying. All right,
that's right. You need to acknowledge those devil worshippers that are going to celebrate Halloween, and hopefully they'll turn it right around and acknowledge our Merry Christmas. Thank you very much.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Well, we are out of time for this episode. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been a pleasure, as always. And I hope you do have an amazing Halloween. And
of course.
Catch you next time.
Bye.
If you're not telling everyone about this show, you're probably a potophobe and a Nazi. Don't be a potophobe. Tell your friends and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you subscribe.